In this video, I'm going to bring you through the exact landing page, creative, and advertising infrastructure that we're using for one of our clients that is generating $33,000 every single day. They're a multi-8-figure company. So what I want to do in this video is, obviously I cannot show you the exact landing page and offer because of obvious reasons, but I want to kind of share with you the framework so that you can use the same exact framework and principles that I'm going to share in this video for your own e-commerce business, and hopefully you see some value. With no further ado, let's get right into the video. Great. So before we get started, as usual, here's some proof. They did $33,000 in sales, almost $34,000. And if we just take a look at the day before, just so you know, it's not like a random day, they did probably like $27,000 in gross sales, $23,000. And so it fluctuates. Let's take a look at the fourth. Yeah, $29,000. So it goes up and down. But this is an 8-figure business where we're actively growing this account, and we're probably gonna hit north of $2 million just in not even in Q4, just in November. So I'm excited about that because it's Q4, so get ready for it. But either way, what I want to share in this video is actually the principles, and I want to start off with kind of like a page that I have actually built personally. And of course, this is not the page of this client, but I'm a huge believer that you need to understand how the e-commerce framework works in the first place before just copying anything, right? So you need to understand why things work so that you can use the same principle and use it for your own business. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is actually bring you through a page that I've built personally, and I'm not a developer, right? So this is the perfect, I want to show you this page because this is a perfect example of a brand that basically doesn't really exist. I just built it from scratch. Just to prove, do some videos, do some demos, etc. But I've built it. There's no dev work required. I just hired a graphic designer to just obviously make some very cool graphics that are very well presented. But yeah, this is like whatever. But the reason I'm showing you this page is because this is, I think, is a well-built page, and it pretty much takes into consideration all the most principal aspects and most important aspects of actually building a high converting page that also allows people to spend, right? So let's get into the nitty and gritty here. Now, after I bring you through this landing page, which is really important, I also want to bring you through a form over here. I have a bunch of things to talk about, so make sure to stick until the end so that you can get access to this information as well. Okay, so let's get back into the landing page. So first of all, what I want you to notice over here is the importance of having very good high quality graphic design. Now could this even be better? Yes, honestly, but this is honestly just a super fast project that I just started on the side to do some content and stuff like that. So and to prove a concept. And so this landing page structure is proven because we've actually our principle is to actually model companies that are already doing very, very well in the market. So if you're selling, it doesn't have to be in the beauty space, but if you're selling anything e-commerce related, this is a good structure to follow. And so the first important thing that I want to note is that the top of the fold, this section over here on the top, is actually extremely, extremely important because you should have all of your information over here on the top. And you always have to assume that most customers and most ideal customers don't actually scroll through the entire page, right? I'm going to go through the page in just a second, but you have to make sure that you have as much information as possible over here, okay? In this section over here, including UGC, testimonials, you have to instill that there's in the customer's mind that there's a proof of concept of the product so that people don't have as many objections as they scroll down, right? And then of course price and offer, right? And so what we're doing here is that we're building an offer specifically for people that are interested in this product, and we're giving out a free serum. So this is basically our offer: free serum. We make sure that we state it very clearly throughout the page: free serum. Now, one other thing that I want to note here is that the graphic elements, the graphical elements on the top of the page, like these ones over here, these are extremely important, and you should have like very high quality and high perceived value designs. Why? Because this essentially reflects your brand, right? And so you can't afford to have like scammy images or just no background and just the product slapped there with no like graphical representations, people are actually interested and they get sold because of these things. So the one thing that I advise is also basically have a small variation of your landing page in the first 5 to 6 images. As you see here, we have some features and benefits. Here we talk about the serum that they get. Here we talk about other features and benefits from the device. And then if we actually scroll, here we also talk about, okay, they have like 7 LED lights and etc, etc, etc. And then of course we have like some proof of concepts or how to demos, so people see that it works and they see how to use the device and whatever. Okay, so this is really important. One other thing that is really fundamental as well is to have this scroll to section that I really like a lot, because this is actually a section that saves a lot of time. So most people are not really interested about the benefits or the features, because they actually already understand it and they just want to see some results and some reviews. And so one thing that you can do is have a scroll to section that brings you right over there in that section. Now, this is really important. I'm not gonna rant too long about this, because I want to make sure that we also go through over other things. But just very quickly, the rest of the page is like proof, and of course here we touch different problems that the product solves with testimonials, with the issue here, and of course whatever reviews. And then we say we make sure that we showcase how to use it in 3 simple steps. And one important element is, if you have like movement in your page, even if you're selling like any type of device, it doesn't really matter. If you have movement in your page, this actually helps increasing the interaction, or the, how do I say it, like the attention span goes up, and so people stick more on your page because there's more visual elements and more movement. And so this is really good, and it also kind of shows how the product works and how you should use it. Okay, and then we have like a journey. So week 1, week 2, week 3, we set the expectation. Here we have more about the features, because there's like 7 LED lights for this product. And then we have some other quick benefits, and then we have us versus them, which is really important. So we have 4.8 star reviews, it's high tech, it's personalized, it's salon quality results, cost effective, and then of course all the others are X's. And then we actually finish it off here with an offer. And by the way, I'm not saying that all proven landing pages have this structure. I'm just saying what we've seen work, and what we've seen work for other e-commerce brands that are absolutely killing it, right? And so here we have an offer, save 40% with free shipping and a free serum. We have like a value stack. This is really important. And then we just make sure that people see the value here. The whole point here is that we don't make a 50% off and we lose 50% of our margin, but the goal here is to increase the perceived value so much that we can just keep the price as it is, maybe only lose like 3, 4, 5% of our gross margin, and still keep healthy margins, because we increase the perceived value of the offer that we're going after and selling. And then of course here they can choose whatever. And one thing to note here is that I always make sure that they see free serum, and so I added a free serum in as many places as possible, because people get distracted and they just get distracted and they don't see the offer. FAQ section, risk-free, right, guarantee, and then a bunch of reviews. So this is the landing page structure that I advise, and this could be used in any type of niche. Just if you see the structure, of course, not everybody has before and afters, but maybe instead of before and afters, which is the proof section, you should just add the proof section for your own product, that it works, that it's convenient, etc., and then reviews, of course. So you can model this page in any other way. Now let's move on, because this is really, I wanted to make sure that you understand how to build a page. I build this on Gem Pages. You can use Gem Pages, Replo, Pagefly, all these page builders on Shopify to build them pretty fast. Cool. One recommendation that I have is, if you do use these page builders, hire like a quick developer. It's like $50 to increase the page speed, because when you do go through these concepts, these landing pages on these page builders, what tends to happen is as the page kind of slows down, and if the page slows down, it's not really optimized for ads, right? Because people are super cold, they don't know who you are, and they don't really have patience. So $50 and you can get a page pretty much fully optimized and optimize the speed of the page. Okay, now let's move on over here. and talk about what it actually takes to scale ads and creative. So first of all, you need to make sure that you test as many marketing angles as possible. I always like to say, if you test multiple products, if you test multiple ads, if you test multiple offers, there's no reason why you shouldn't test multiple marketing angles. And I always speak about this. And so marketing angle is just, I always go through these videos, and so if you hear this from me again, you're probably tired of hearing this from me, but to go over a quick example, I'm not selling this wallet. One marketing angle is that it's small and convenient, right? And so it's convenient, you don't have to go around and fill your pockets, and uncomfortable, so it's just small and convenient. Another marketing angle can be, oh, it's Mont Blanc, right? So high perceived value, super elegant, it increases your status. So this is an example of two completely different marketing angles. Another angle could be like, this is a, it's not really an angle, but a positioning, different positioning statement. Buy this for your boyfriend, right? Make him happy for his anniversary or whatever. And so that's a completely different angle. So hopefully you get the point. And so why is it important? Because the brands that actually scale to 8 figures, and the brands that are easily able to scale to 8 figures, are the brands that distribute and test as many, distribute their income across multiple marketing angles, because there's nothing worse than just scaling with one angle that works and then that angle dies out, just like ads die out, a marketing angle dies out. The only difference between the marketing angle here is that it dies out at a slower pace, because it's not just like an ad. Okay, so make sure that you crack the marketing angles in offer. Then of course the next step over here is, assuming you want to scale, right, is you find more and more UGC people. And so what I like to do is basically build a pipeline. And let me actually show you here a quick demo of what you should do here. Demo of what your process for UGC should actually look like. So first of all, let me just go here, UGC tracker. So this is what it should look like. You should have either a social URL, their pricing, their previous work, their email address, location, whether you contact them or not. In this case, it's collaboration approved by, it would be by you. In this case, it's for the client. Their address and whatever, I should probably hide these. Their address, work approved, paid, did we pay them, final work. Very, very simple. And then I also have a structured here process where we have like the storyboards, and this is what we use to basically brief the creators. So we just use like concepts like this I'm going to talk about in this video in just a second. We basically have the hook, the product intro, product info. We have like a small storyboard, and we share these like through a screenshot. We share them with them and we brief them, so we make sure that they know exactly what they're saying. Now, this is one way to do it. And what you want to do, you want to get to a point where you fill this and you have so many creators, more than you can handle, that you're never at a shortage, right? Because there's nothing worse than not having somebody to work with, and because then your pipeline of creatives is going to dry out, which is the worst thing that you can do when it comes to e-commerce. Okay, so this is what we use to fill in the pipeline. I would hire a VA to go in Twitter and go x.com. Go on Twitter and basically find these creators here. You can also go on Instagram, you can also go on Facebook groups, but just so you see UGC, type in UGC, say beauty, and you can find a lot of people that are UGC in the beauty space, UGC creator in Australia, whatever, UGC specialist, UGC, and so these people are all specialized in skincare in this example. And you go in people, there you go. You have like all of these creators, and many of them actually put their email like this one, and they all have a portfolio, and a lot of these are good people, because you don't want to work with people, like you can also work with people for free, but what I've seen is that 80 to 90% of those people are just going to waste your time, and they're not experts, and they're just doing it to receive a free product, which is not what we want to do. We want to build long-term collaborations. One other good way to do it is actually leverage TikTok affiliates. If you have like TikTok shop, that's a great way to actually bring on board creators that are really, really good, give them a commission, and then you can leverage their content for ads. Let me go back to the slides over here. Boom. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so once again, you have to hire. I would hire a VA for like $3, $4 an hour, and you train them on how to find them, and so that instead of you having to fill up the pipeline, you can just have somebody on the back end to fill up that pipeline. Now, the next thing over here is the storyboard. The storyboard and the framework of the video that you use is probably one of the most important things. It's like 80% of the entire equation. You can have the best creator in the world, perfect ideal customer, but if they go through pain points that are not valid, they present the product with a marketing angle that is not relevant or doesn't really work with with the product that you're selling, right? Then nothing doesn't really the entire process doesn't really make sense in the first place. So make sure that you craft and you spend a lot of time researching on storyboards and structures that actually work. This is just one that we've used many times. You start with a hook, product intro, product information, features, benefits. Legitimacy means that basically it's like proof of concept. You show that a lot of people use it, and then call to action. This is just one framework. If you want to see more frameworks, you can explore my other YouTube videos in the past. But this is one framework that you can use. And now what we want to do is like once we find a process that actually works, and we have to scale. And so there's two ways of scaling here. So one is going after UGC creator, and you tell them to do like 3 videos with like 3 different hooks. And this can get expensive quite fast. So typically one video can cost like 100, 120, 150 bucks, sometimes even 200 if the creative is really, really good and experienced. And they usually provide the script, the editing, and they can give you like 3 different hooks. So if you're very confident about a process and a storyboard, and you know that this is going to be the right move, then go ahead and do it, because it's going to be worth the investment, because these ads are most likely going to scale. The other way of doing that also is to basically, instead of asking them to just one UGC video, you can go here and creator creator number 1, and you ask them to film basically, let me just do it here, scenes. Let's do footage 1. Let me change the color. A lot of different footages, and so you end up with like a library full of footage. And what do I mean by this? I basically mean that this is all kind of messy, but you get the point. Essentially what they do, instead of filming one video, which takes them whatever, let's say 3 hours to do, those 3 hours are going to be dedicated towards filming 3 to 5 second scenes of different footage, so them being happy. Then a scene where they they essentially gift this to their boyfriend and the boyfriend is happy, or them talking about the features and benefits of this product, or them showcasing how convenient it is and they put it in their pocket. Like all these things are really fundamental. The only downside with this is that first of all, like the benefit, let me start with the benefits. This is like pros, is that it's really convenient with price, because the UGC video, the price of one UGC video can basically be the price of like 10 to 20 pieces of footage. And the advantage here is that you can basically put all these pieces of footage and create your own video, right? This is basically video 1, and then this is basically video number 2, right? And then how do you scale it? You scale it with AI voiceovers. And so you would add basically this video over here would have AI voiceover 1, right? And this one would be basically AI voiceover 2 or whatever. And so you can scale basically with editing, right? And so you scale with editing and not with just like the entire raw content. So the con on the other side is, if you're not an experienced editor, or if you don't have the budget to hire an editor, then either learn how to become an editor, or like very quickly learn how to put videos together and create scripts, or you have to hire somebody to do it for you. But this is a very cheap way. This is how 8-figure companies scale, that in a very, very cheap way. They just have very cheap content because they have a lot of B-rolls and they put things together, and they use a lot of AI scripts and they just repurpose. Now, hopefully that makes sense. Now, let me just go over very quickly how we actually launch ads and scale ads. We use like a 3-2 method. I've been speaking about this many times in my channel. We also have used many, we've had clients that spend like $20,000 in a day, and I have case studies and proof to show it in other videos with like a different structure. So I'm not saying this is the only structure. I'm a huge believer that there's a lot of structures and ways that can work for Facebook, but the most important criteria that you need to understand is the fact that you need to put always creative over media buying. So we're not in the media buying process anymore. We're in the creative process, and so ad account structures need to be fully simplified so that we can only focus on finding marketing angles that win, and then ads that can convert, and testing as many creative concepts that we think have the potential to convert. And so this is the process that we use. If you're testing one product, I would call it CBO for product number one. And then I would test and scale ad sets. So I would keep adding ad sets. So first of all, this has to be at least $150, $200 a day. So this is slightly a more higher budget, but this is typically how we scale. And every like 3 to 5 days, we scale by like 10, 15%. If it's working. And so basically we let Facebook choose where it should spend, and each ad set is a marketing angle. So to my example before, this marketing angle would be the gifting one. This marketing angle could be the convenience one, and this marketing angle could be like, because it's small and convenient, and this marketing angle would be increase in status, right? So these are completely different. And then of course we have like UGC ads over here. What I like to do is also use the flexible UGC, not UGC, the flexible ads, which is basically a feature where you can put like 3 videos, 2 headlines, 2 ad copies, and then Facebook will mix and match them and basically create multiple variations and multiple videos. And so it's basically 3 times 2 times 2. So I think it's like 3 times 2, whatever, 6. Like you have like 12 plus UGC variations or video variations, not necessarily UGC variations. And then make sure that what I would do here is like, if you choose that you want to test videos, just test videos here. And if you choose that you want to test like images, just test image concepts over here. So make sure that the concept is congruent. Now, if you want to scale with and say, okay, this is marketing angle number 1, and in this video we tested a before and after UGC video. If you want to continue scaling this, you can duplicate it and then make sure that you test a different creative concept, like instead of before and after, you can do like a mashup, like a UGC mashup thing, or an AI voiceover concept, right? So this is how we scale creative concepts. And so let me know if it makes sense. And then of course we're gonna see that typically 10, 15, sometimes 20% of the ad sets are going to really scale, and that's where Facebook is gonna basically attribute most of their or not attribute, but put most of the money. And then if we keep adding ad sets and they don't actually spend because Facebook decides not to spend, it's probably because the ad is not good enough to compete against the ones that are, actually getting the sales. And so don't worry if it's not spending. It just means that the creative concept is probably not there at par with what is working in the market and what Facebook knows should be working. And so one other approach here that I like to use to scale, this is great for testing and scaling. You should continue scaling this. We have some CBO campaigns for some clients that are scaling like at $5,000 a day. And so it's a more gradual and consistent approach. And so you should scale by, once again, 10 to 15% every 3 to 5 days, 3 to 4 days, and see how that goes. You don't want to do it more because then it kind of fucks up the entire algorithm because you're just bumping it up too much. Now, what we want to do next is that, and this is not necessarily what you have to do, but what actually also works well is that once you find winning UGC, like videos, it doesn't have to be UGC. I'm not sure why you just put UGC here, but probably because I was talking about UGC here. But once we find winning ads, we can just put them all into an ACS at least like, $200-300 a day, I would say, because this is like a scaling campaign. Minimum like 150. I would say like 3 times your AOV. So if you're selling a $50 product, you should at least put it at $150, right? And then this is where we let Facebook decide on which ads to scale and spend. And of course, ACS, as you probably know, is the type of campaign that is basically broad. And like you have basically no control over most of the aspects of actually running an ad. And so you can only control your creatives and the budget, who you can show it to, meaning like the geographical locations like Italy, Germany, US, Big 5, whatever. And I already said the budget and stuff like that. And the age. I think you can also control the age. Okay, that's it. That is it for this video. But this is pretty much the infrastructure that you need, that 8-figure brands use. They have everything systematized. They scale with marketing angles. They have a systematized way to find creators. They have a systematized way to scale proven UGC boards. They have a systematized way and infrastructure to actually scale their content creation with UGC, and also primarily with the UGC B-roll strategy that I shared kind of over here. And then this is how, I'm not sure if everybody's doing it like this, but this is how we're structuring our ad accounts in a very, very simple way. Okay. And one other thing that I want to note here is that this is going to do both also retargeting. So if you want to do like specific retargeting campaigns, you can also set like other campaigns if you want to run like specific retargeting campaigns. That's it for this video. I hope it was valuable. I did cover a lot, like landing pages, ads, creatives, finding creators. I talked about the storyboard. So let me know if you have any questions in this video. Please, it helps with the algorithm. If you like, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment. So leave your thoughts, give me suggestions of other videos. And that's it for this video. If you have any recommendations, please give them to me. I love doing these videos. I love helping people. And that's it for this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.